All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about one of the most successful road safety innovations in decades. And then we're going to uncover a huge problem that's hiding in plain sight, a flaw that's putting our newest drivers at risk. So look at this number, $13.6 billion. That's the estimated economic savings every single year from just one program in the United States. It's called Graduated Driver Licensing, or GDL, and its impact has been absolutely massive. You know, GDL was created to solve a really serious problem, the terrifyingly high number of crashes among new young drivers. And honestly, it's been a total game changer. So how does this thing actually work? And what is it about this system that makes it so incredibly effective at saving lives and a whole lot of money? The idea is actually pretty brilliant and simple. Instead of just throwing a new driver into the deep end, GDL lets them get their feet wet first. It gradually introduces them to more complex, risky situations as they build up real-world skills and experience. It's all about learning in stages. And, the data just speaks for itself. The numbers are incredibly clear. These GDL programs have been proven time and again to cut the overall crash risk for the youngest drivers by a staggering 20 to 40%. That is huge. Okay, so we've got a system that we know works. We know it saves lives. But there's a major problem. There's a fundamental crack in the foundation here that's undermining the entire thing. And this problem, this disconnect, we call it the practice gap. And it really points to a hidden failure in the system that most people never even think about. This is where the story really takes a turn. It's the logical question to ask, right? If the GDL framework is so great, why do we see such high failure rates for the driving test in so many places? Well, the answer tells us everything we need to know about where this whole system is breaking down. Now, what's really fascinating here is that these aren't system flaws. These aren't trick questions on the test. Look at this list. Checking your mirrors, your position on the road, observing what's happening in an intersection. These are all fundamental skill-based errors that all point back to one single thing. So here it is. The problem isn't the GDL framework itself. That part's solid. The real issue is a massive lack of practice. Simply put, new drivers just are not getting enough quality, supervised experience behind the wheel before they take that test and head out on the road all by themselves. And believe me, this isn't just a local issue. When you start looking at different countries, you really start to see just how wide and how varied this practice gap truly is. This table right here says it all. You've got New South Wales and Australia mandating a full 120 hours of supervised driving. Then in the US, it's a total patchwork quilt. It could be 100 hours, it could be 0, depending on the state. And the UK, no minimum requirement at all. That's a huge, huge difference in expectations. Okay, so if we know for a fact that more practice makes safer drivers, what's stopping us? Why aren't people doing it? Well, the answers are kind of complicated, and they're really tied into the way we live today. Sure, there are the obvious hurdles, right? Professional lessons can be really expensive, and families are just busier than ever. But there's a deeper issue going on here. There's a fundamental mismatch between how we've always taught driving and how today's teenagers, these digital natives, actually learn. Think about it for a second. We're still handing out paper logbooks to a generation that grew up with interactive apps, getting instant feedback, and unlocking achievements for literally everything. Old school repetitive drills just don't connect with learners who are used to a fun, reward-based, digitally tracked world. Okay, but here's the good news. This is a totally solvable problem. The technology and the strategies we need to close this practice gap, they're not some far-off futuristic idea. They're already here. Modern tech can bridge this generation gap perfectly. Digital logbooks that use GPS can verify the hours automatically, so no more fudging the numbers. They can track different road conditions, and maybe most importantly, they can use gamification, with badges and progress bars, to actually make practice feel engaging and fun. And it goes way beyond just logging hours. We can dramatically improve the quality of the practice kids are getting. We can use structured programs that build skills in a logical way. And we can even use cool new tools like virtual reality simulators so they can safely practice how to spot hazards on the road. And just to really drive this point home, some recent landmark research confirmed everything we've been talking about. It found a direct, statistically proven link. The more supervised practice a teen gets, the fewer crashes they have, and the safer they drive. This isn't just a hunch anymore, it's a fact.
So here's the big takeaway. The graduated driver licensing system itself isn't broken. It's actually one of the best tools we have. But its success depends entirely on us, on parents, on teens, on policymakers, committing to closing this critical practice gap. The framework for safety is right there. The real question is, are we willing to put in the work?